It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, and thanks for listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. If you're finding me on the air for the first time, keep in mind the show is a daily show. Now it's on weekdays at 8 a.m. here on 1250 Wins WHNZ, and it's a business variety show. It's something different each and every morning as I talk to many different professionals about what they're doing in our communities to make a difference. So it's a show with a positive message. It's a show with not too much political talk and news talk. It's all about what the guests are doing in the community to make a difference. Also, the show is always looking for partners. It's always looking for people to contribute to the show. So if you have ideas for the show, if you have a business or an organization that you'd like to come in and talk about, feel free to get in touch with me. The best way to get me is through my contact form over at tampabayradio.com. Also over there, you'll find that all shows are available on demand. There is a button on the menu bar that says show info. That'll drop down to all of the shows. And also on the site, you'll notice that I sell real estate. So if you're in the market to buy or sell a home, I am a resource for you to help you get that done. And again, you can just contact me through the contact form or send me an email, jamie@tampabayradio.com. Joined in studio as always by my video streaming engineer, I should say, Josh Vazda. How you doing this morning, Josh?
I am tired.
Doing tired, man? Yeah.
Well, I need coffee by the gallon.
You got some over there, so hopefully it'll get you through the show. Josh runs the live stream. All shows are streamed here live in studio. So if you're in the car or not in the car, listening to the radio and sitting in the office some mornings, you can just click on the watch live stream button and see the video each and every morning. And we do put the video up on YouTube as well as Tampa Bay Radio on demand as well. It's Tuesday, so a new weekly feature brought to us by the Tampa Bay business owners. This is TBBO Tuesdays, and on the phone line with me, I've got one of the co-founders of the organization. Katie Kremitzo is with me this morning. Katie, good morning to you. How are you doing?
Good morning, Jamie. What's going on?
Not too much. How's everything going with the new baby? Katie just gave birth to Sedona, a very cute, lovely girl. So congratulations to that. How is she doing?
Thank you. She's good. She's a little fussy this morning, but she's good.
So you all have a number of events that come up, and people can learn more about the Tampa Bay business owners over at TBBO.org. But you have an excellent event coming up on Friday, December 11th, the Google Summit. Let's talk to the audience about this.
Yeah, so every year, this is an annual summit that we put on. It's a full-day event from 9 to 4, and our job is to bring the best of the best educators who know a particular portion about Google and what's going on with Google. Google is such a massive platform for business owners to be able to utilize and to leverage. And so what we do is we give you educator after educator, all talking about all different forms of Google. So we're talking about YouTube, we're talking about Google tools, we're talking about SEO, we're talking about just everything that Google has that business owners can really leverage to run their businesses.
Now, this is going on again Friday, December 11th. It's going on from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. over at the Pinellas Realtor Organization. Is this open to the public?
Yes, absolutely. So this is open to members as well as non-members of the Tampa Bay business owners. Our mission really is to help educate anyone who wants business education in the whole area. So anyone can come. All you have to do is go to tbbo.org. There's information there about how to get your ticket and secure your spot.
Okay. Now, how is the event going to be run? Is there going to be one speaker? Is there going to be a couple different speakers? How is this event going to be run?
No, it's a couple different speakers, and it's really topic-driven. So, depending on the topic is where we bring in that speaker to talk about that particular topic. And so there'll be, 3 or 4 speakers in the morning, I think 4 speakers in the afternoon. So it's just constant. And one thing that we really make sure to do in all of our education is that it's very real, it's actionable, you're learning the information so that you can literally take the notes, go home and implement and see how that implementation can really impact your business right away.
Yeah, and Google definitely is a powerful tool and something that people need to learn how to leverage to effectively get their business on the forefront of the search engines. And there's a lot of stuff to know about Google. And so this Google Summit definitely is a resource for business owners out there in the community. And again, this is going to be going on Friday, December 11th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. over at the Pinellas Realtor Organization, which is located at 4590 Almerton Road in Clearwater. Katie, I thank you and Chris, as always, for supporting the show and being part of TBBO Tuesday. So I'll chat with you and Chris again next week.
Absolutely, Jamie. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And again, that was Katie Kremitzos, co-founder of the Tampa Bay Business Owners. You can learn more about them over at tbbo.org. So let's go ahead and bring on my guests for the program. I've got two in studio today, and we'll be doing a little group discussion about business and life coaching and development. I've got Charles Strange, who is the owner and CEO of the Solution Associates, a consulting group that helps businesses implement custom software solutions that increase their profitability. And he's joined in studio with Patty Lustig, a certified personal and business coach who has been running workshops on the art of time management and productivity for over 10 years. Charles and Patty, welcome to the program this morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Charles, I'll start with you. Tell me a little bit more about the Solution Associates.
The Solution Associates was created in 1987, and we've been helping small businesses throughout the area improve their productivity. Anywhere from one guy we took from $800,000 a year. Now 7 years later, he's doing $2.4 million with half his staff.
Okay, so it's a business consulting company,
Yep.
but you do a number of different things. Because you're also a programmer by trade, correct?
Right. Yeah. So we do custom software development, but we also look at how the correct technology needs to be implemented in that. So is it a barcode solution? Is it an RFID solution? What is the right correct fix to solve a business problem?
And what's the history? You founded the organization in 97 with a partner, and then you've been running it solely since the early 90s. But tell me about the development of this. How did you get into this business?
So that's a kind of interesting story. So I got into computers through writing. When I grew up, I didn't want to write. Handwriting was really difficult for me, and spelling I suck at it. So
I'm the same way.
yeah, right. And so,
But yeah, you understand programming and coding. That's so interesting to me.
It's pretty wild.
Wow, it's interesting.
So to avoid writing, I went into theater, and then from theater, I met my wife, and then after meeting my wife, I realized that theater is not conducive to long-term relationships.
Okay.
So I decided to go back to school, and I went back to school and studied philosophy, and in that I started word processing. And so with word processing, I was like, oh my God, this is great. I can actually write and fix my spelling and not misspell something else.
So you went from theater to philosophy.
Yeah,
what
right.
made you think that philosophy was conducive to large-term relationships? I mean, what do you use philosophy for to make money other than education?
Right. Well, that kind of actually was backwards because I was going to go into law, and then
All right. At least you had a plan there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then my sister-in-law was a lawyer, and I found out that law is not really as much fun as I thought it was going to be because, from TV, it's a lot of, you basically
you
in court,
see all
you're
the
just doing
top.
yeah. And it's just argument, but which I was good at. But yeah,
you get into it and you find out that you're really
there's a
sitting
lot-
behind a desk, issuing threatening letters all day long.
Pretty much, yeah.
I like how he said it, which is arguing, and I'm good at that.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. So
did you finish your degree in philosophy?
yeah, I did. I graduated magna cum laude. Pissed my dad off pretty bad. So that was a lot of fun. And then from that, I learned. I really got excited about computers, and so I ended up writing a program, and I took it to this guy out of Cambridge who had a little store right outside of Cambridge, and I showed him my program, and he was like, where are the graphics? I'm like, what are you talking about graphics? And so he reaches under a desk and pulls out an Atari 400 and a cartridge and slips it in and plugs it into the TV, and all of a sudden there's stars and planets and spaceships flying around and blowing up, and I went, oh.
It's amazing how
graphics.
Atari mesmerized us back in the day. I was the same way when I was a child. I thought that Atari was the greatest thing in all of creation, and now you look at it and you're like, oh my gosh.
I know, right?
Is this?
8-bit graphics, like what the heck is that?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it had such a complicated games as like what was that, Pong and
Pong,
and Space Invaders and
Right.
Asteroid.
Yep. Pac-Man.
Pac-Man was a great game.
Yeah, it was.
But,
Greatest game of all time.
you know, I
you
watched
go.
something on special recently about E.T., the game that supposedly crashed Atari.
Right.
And there's this whole cult of people centered around this, game, because when the game was created, it was so hyped up that this was going to be the next
was
big
rushed.
thing, and it was rushed to market. And when it came to market, it was
sucked.
horrible. It
Oh,
was
yeah, it
horrible.
sucked. Yeah.
And it basically, a lot of people blame the creation of E.T. for the downfall of Atari. And so they produced all these cartridges, and they are dumped out in this
Huge
field.
landfill.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
out in California somewhere, I think it is, or Nevada, somewhere out there. And the special was all about them finding the location of these cartridges and the history of Atari, and it was pretty entertaining. I got to admit, I definitely enjoyed that. And they did find them. They found
they did.
thousands and thousands
Yeah.
of these things.
Yeah, they
They
did.
did a whole documentary about it too.
Yeah.
Aside from that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was definitely an interesting documentary. And you didn't realize, the history of Atari.
Right.
At least I didn't until I saw that.
It was one of the most sophisticated computers. It actually was a multi-processor computer, so it had a processor specifically for the calculations and a completely different processor for sound and a completely different processor for video.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty sophisticated toy. I mean,
and the whole thing kind of focused on the developer and his, I guess he kind of got blamed for the downfall of Atari. I forget his name, but he talked about how it impacted his entire career. He was just a young developer, back then, but it impacted
It was his
him.
first gig.
Yeah.
It was his first gig. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had made a few games before that, and he was, the go-to developer for Atari. But that game was so bad in the eyes of consumers that it, crashed Atari and then impacted him in his career to this day. And he was talking about that.
He did well defending himself.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I can't, knock the guy. Look what, being a part of Atari and developing any games to me is impressive.
That's got to be hard though. Your first job.
Yeah.
Blam.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah, but it was a good
career.
it was an interesting, definitely an interesting documentary. Let me take a quick break. Coming back from the break, I'll talk more Charles and also Patty Lustig, who is a professional life coach with Sage Think, and you're listening to the TBBO Tuesdays edition of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 888-347-0305.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Big delays on southbound I-75. Crash just before Fletcher, blocking a couple lanes, and that has traffic slowing from before Bruce B. Downs. Also, westbound I-4, slow from 301 to 50th Street. Crash on the Howard Franklin Bridge was in the left-hand lane. That was slowing traffic as well, but nothing significant. That one being moved off to the side. Typical delays into Tampa. Southbound Veterans slow from Ehrlich to Waters. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abraham Son Uterick. Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Compassion International. There is a little boy or girl living in poverty right now. They don't have enough to eat, are sick, and can't go to school. And you can release them from that poverty when you become a sponsor with Compassion International. Find out how at compassion.com/radio.
Today, a mix of sun and clouds with a slight rain chance, high 83. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 70. Tomorrow, a 20% rain chance, high 82.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Each weekday morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. You can learn more about the program over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, the show has expanded to include a sixth show each week. That show airs on 970 WFLA Sunday mornings at 5 a.m. It's That Business Show, the Real Estate Edition, where I and my co-host Frank Cotto talk real estate, mortgages, taxes, insurance, you name it, anything related to real estate, we cover on that show. And that show is available on demand over at TampaBayRadio.com under the show info tab, as well as on iTunes, as well as a podcast, including this one as well. Patty, let's throw it over to you. Tell me a little bit more about Sage Think.
Well, at Sage Think, I am focused on helping business owners work as effectively and efficiently as they possibly can. A lot of business owners I meet, they work too many hours.
I think that's just the way it is in business.
But I don't think it always has to be. In fact, I have some good examples. I worked with a real estate investor, and when he started working with me, he worked from about 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. at night. I asked him, what did he want to get? He said, well, I'd like to work less hours, and I'd like to sleep at night because I'm always afraid that I'm not getting done everything that I need to get done. After I worked with him for about 10 weeks, he started working from 9 to 4 and told me that he slept well every night.
So what were some of the areas where he was deficient in forms of time management, or was it more of a, because I mean, I think delegation is the biggest problem with entrepreneurs. They try to do everything, they don't delegate well.
Yep, delegation can be a big problem, but one of his biggest problems was just the way that he structurally worked. So he described to me that he would go into his office every morning and he had about 5 different manila folders. And as the day went by, he would slide things into different manila folders. But what he would do is get there at 8 a.m. and he'd take his top folder and he'd go to the first thing and he'd work on it. And he would never get through all the folders. And I said, no, here's what you do. First thing, you go through your manila folders and you take out your calendar and you don't do anything except decide when you're going to do that. So we realized he had about 4 key people he talked to about 10 times a day. We could shrink that down into 1 or 2 conversations a day if he took the first hour of his day and determined what did he need to talk to John about, because there were all different things in these folders. Those were some of the things that we shifted, was how did he manage his day, when and where was he going to do what?
I think if I found an extra 5 hours of time, I would find 5 more hours of stuff to do. But did he abide by what he wanted to do? Did he take off at 4?
He did. He took off at 4. He had a new baby at home. He wanted, that was another important thing to him. I think a lot of times what we do is we focus on our business and we're going to wait till later to do things in our personal lives. And so oftentimes people that work with me, they actually start to get things done in their personal lives that they've been putting off, and that can give you even more productivity.
And you're also a personal coach in addition to business, so you can help people with both facets of it. I think a lot of the people that I've had in here that are coaches focus on one or the other, life or business, but you can do both.
I do.
Correct?
I focus on both.
So how did you get into the coaching space? What was your inspiration for this?
Well, I started out, I have a degree in special education, and I worked for 8 years in a psychiatric facility with teenagers. So I was their teacher. And I always say, if you can do that, you can do anything. After I got burned out on that, I went to work for a human growth and development company that had weekend and evening seminars that empowered people's growth. I got really, really into that, worked for them for about 10 years. But after I had a baby, I stopped working there because I had to work too many hours. So I was working these horrible inside sales jobs. I was really good at them, and I really hated the work. And I had married my second husband, and I said to him, I've got to find something to do that I love. So I opened the paper to a one-page ad on becoming a personal life coach. I said, that's what I'll do. So my husband, who's the most awesome guy in the world, said, okay, quit your job, hang up your shingle. I went and got certified within 6 months and just started my business, and I've been coaching ever since.
That's incredible. Charles, how do you incorporate time management or in your because your business kind of go hand in hand a little bit. So tell me how your business ties into with what Patty's.
So what Patty focuses on is creating productivity with that individual. And what we focus on is creating productivity within the organization. So we don't really do time management as much as we do
systems development.
Yes.
Okay.
How do you move data, right? So are you rekeying data? Is your CRM talking to your accounting system? Have you made the connections so that you're only putting data in once instead of over and over and over and over again? That's probably our biggest way we help companies increase their productivity. And Patty's more about how do you take that individual and get more productivity out of that individual.
Okay, so Patty, you work with any different type of business. It doesn't matter what line of
any
work
type
they're in.
Of business.
Do you have a niche market that you feel more comfortable in, or is it pretty much just any business in general?
Not really. I've worked in a lot of tech companies working with this, but I've also worked with realtors and insurance people and chiropractors, and it really doesn't matter. It's applicable.
Now, as people know, I'm a realtor. Can you save us realtors from in time management? I think realtors are the biggest time wasters there are, and I don't want to get into the different reasons why I say that, but how many different realtors have you worked with?
I've probably worked with about 10.
And you've been able to effectively manage
absolutely. If a person really wants me to have an impact, I'll have an impact. So you have to be coachable.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's also really important is that anytime you got change, you have to want the change, right? And so if you don't desire to change your business flow or your personal space, it's not going to happen. And so you've got to have a desire and a want to make those changes because change is hard.
Yeah,
it isn't easy.
So how do your coaching programs work? Do you offer just individual sessions? Do you have to go through a certain curriculum? How does this work?
People start with an 8-week online webinar series. It's very interactive, so it's not where someone's just talking at you for 8 weeks. You're actually engaged as though you were in a class. At the end of that 8 weeks, they have a one-time complimentary follow-up session. And then they can go on to doing modules, basic modules that go deeper into different parts of what they've been taught. So oftentimes the whole module on calendaring is really important because I've taught them how to use their calendar more effectively, but 9 times out of 10, I go look at their calendar and they're not doing it. So I literally have to say, do this right now while we're on the computer. And when they do it, it makes a difference.
How much personal coaching is involved versus, just a homework, so to speak? How much one-on-one coaching do you give?
In the 8-week class, there's quite a bit of general coaching based on the things that people say to me. In the 1-hour follow-up, it's you individually working with me. And then some people will take on like a 6-month agreement for individual coaching because they really want to dig in and they've got certain goals that they want to make sure that they're going to reach.
Okay. Let me hold that point there. I got to take a quick bottom of the hour break, but I'm currently in studio with Patty Lustig, personal and business coach with Sage Think, and also Charles Strange, owner and CEO of the Solution Associates. And coming back from the break, I want to talk with them about the 3 keys to using time effectively as well as their 3 secrets to staying focused in an unfocused world. You're currently listening to the TBBO Tuesdays edition of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Back in a moment.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone. what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Called 813-96 glass. 813-96 glass. If it's chipped or cracked, we'll buy it back. We turn your broken glass into cold hard cash. Auto Glass America.
Up to $100 cash back with comprehensive insurance.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Big delays on southbound I-75 from Bruceby Downs to just before Fletcher. Crash there, blocking the right-hand lane. Also some significant delays on westbound Bush Boulevard approaching 275. A crash there at the exit ramp from 275. That's blocking the left and center lanes over in Pinellas Park. Southbound 66th Street. Crash there approaching Park Boulevard in the right lane, and in South Tampa went along Dale Mabry near Horatio. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abraham Sloan Uterk, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Stand Up to Cancer.
I'm Tony Goldwyn. 20 years ago, when my mom had lung cancer, she didn't have many choices. But today, you do. If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, please visit standuptocancer.org/lungcancer to learn more.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. Slight chance for a shower today, about 10%. Sea temps in the lower and a few mid-80s. Sunshine mixed with a few scattered clouds and upper 60s, near 70 for the low. Rain chance a touch higher for tomorrow. Temps staying the same, and then we'll see a 50% chance of rain Thursday. Upper 70s for the high.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to the program, everybody, and thanks for listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business, every weekday morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. And you can learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, please connect with me on all the different social media sites. I'm on just about every platform out there, and we do keep those well updated with show information. Facebook.com/That Business Show. Also, Twitter under Jamie_Maloney. Currently in studio with Patty Lustig, a life coach and owner of Sage Think, and she's also a business coach as well. And also in studio with Charles Strange, owner and CEO of the Solution Associates. You can learn more about each of them at their websites, the-solution.com for Charles, and Patty's website is sagethink.com. So, Patty, let's throw it back over to you. What are the three keys to using time effectively?
Well, first of all, you need to be clear on what it is you want to accomplish. So you may have goals. You may know this is where I want to get in my business, but oftentimes on even a daily basis, we don't stop to plan, but what is it I want to accomplish today that's going to get me to that goal? So oftentimes we get up, we have appointments on our calendar, but we have a list somewhere. We kind of generally know what we want to get done, but we don't literally schedule, here's the steps I need to take and when I'm going to take them in order to get something accomplished.
I think that's one of the most difficult things in business is knowing what you want to do and being proactive instead of reactive. I mean, I ask people all the time, what do you want to do? What is your goal? And people are like, I don't know. I think a lot of people are just reactive instead of proactive, and I struggle with that myself. I always, when I sit down for a task, I was like, what do I hope to accomplish here? And a lot of times I find myself saying, I don't know, and I find myself just wasting time, so to speak. So that point seems easy enough to to talk about, but it's really difficult to implement.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
So all right, go on with the next point.
Well, going right along with that is how do you use a calendar? So most people were taught to use a calendar 9 times out of 10 if I look at your calendar. So what's in your calendar, Jamie?
Just a few meetings, and to be honest with you, I do a lot of stuff off of memory too. So yes. I don't put a lot of stuff into calendars. So
right, that's how it is for most people. But what does our calendar represent? 24 hours a day, the actual time of our life. And when does something get done? Mm-hmm. Does anything ever get done outside of time? No, anything you're ever going to get done has to have a period of time in which to do it. So one of the things we teach is how to use your calendar effectively. Like if you actually schedule in what there is to do and when you're going to do it, you're going to get 90% more done than by either keeping things in your memory or figuring out on the fly what you're going to do.
Do you find that most people then don't use calendars then, and what do? They just rely on memory and handwritten notes all over the place?
They rely on memory and handwritten notes.
Yeah, I have a hard time implementing calendars myself just because I don't know. I guess I don't think like that. Go ahead, Charles.
But the other thing is, you're talking about actually scheduling tasks in the calendar instead of it just being on like a yellow pad with these are the 10 things that I need to get done. You're suggesting what you put that actual task in the calendar?
Yes, like you make blocks of one of the things we do is calendar blocking. So you look at how much admin time do you need every week? I say repeat that forever. Put it in an hour a week. On Monday, you can move it anywhere you want, but you've now accounted for how much time do you need for admin. Then when your admin tasks come up, you actually put them in that block to do. You will find 9 times out of 10, if you put things in the block, you'll figure out what you can get done in an hour. You won't have this list that, oh my God, I couldn't get to it all. You actually start to relate to real available time and how you're going to get something done in time.
Oh, what if you have, troublesome clients, like they're never on time? How would you suggest managing that?
Well, people who are never on time, then what you want to do is have them schedule everything early. So oftentimes if they say, I need to be somewhere a half an hour earlier than they need to be there, then they start getting there on time.
Now, something I just started using is the use of a shared calendar with my staff. It's something I never did. And we're constantly, wasting time going back and forth, with them coming to me. Are you available on this time? Are you available on that time? So I taught myself how to use a shared calendar and just publish my calendar to my server. And so starting to implement that in my business.
Yes, those are the types of things that increase your efficiency.
Yeah, and it definitely has made a difference. It eliminates the communication, and my staff can just look at my calendar and know if I'm busy or not.
Perfect.
And it took probably about 30 minutes to figure out how to do that. But there's online solutions for that. I just used my own server to publish a calendar up to that. So the 3 keys then to using time effectively, we talked about being clear on what you want to accomplish, the use of a calendar. Do we hit all 3?
Well, so that piece is knowing that you have to schedule.
Okay.
You have to schedule. And then learning to use your calendar, yes.
Okay. So now what are the 3 secrets then to staying focused in an unfocused world?
Well, one key one is to understand that you are never going to get it all done. In this day and age with technology coming at us every second, we can just fill ourselves with, there is too much to do. There's too much to do, and you'll never get it all done. So if you really get that, and you know that you have a limited amount of time, you'll make better choices about what you're going to actually use your time for. The second is you want to get things out of your head. And if this is something people could stop and do right after the show, and it would make a difference for them. And people think it'll take forever. It really doesn't. Just take out a piece of paper and list everything that's in your head. And the more that you can just learn to capture things as they come to mind rather than storing them in your head, you will be more focused because you won't have all this stuff that you're carrying around.
Yeah.
It's out on a piece of paper. And finally, you want to set up your environment to avoid distractions. So often we don't take control of our environment. We think that we have to have our door open, or we think that we have to let ourselves be interrupted. So there's many ways that you can take control of your environment so that you're focused. You can, with your computer, turn off the email for an hour, turn off things that distract you.
Yeah, I have a hard time disconnecting from business. Charles, do you suffer from any of these problems, so to speak?
Well, I recognize them. I actually don't suffer from them because I've recognized them as problems. And one of the things that I've found to be true, and there's some great studies on it, is you really can't multiprocess. I mean, people that say that they're really good at multiprocessing aren't good at multiprocessing. Your brain doesn't work that way.
Yes.
There's an actual delay when you're switching from one task to another. And so one of the things that is really important to do is make sure you're not in a disruptive space, because otherwise you're going to be driven by the disruptions, not by your goals. You're going to be driven by other people's goals. And so I've effectively done some of the things that Patty suggested by not having email on, turning the cell phone off, because again, we're in such a connected space now. And we've got so many places where we can be disrupted: Twitter, Facebook, email, phone calls, employees. And the real trick to this is, if you think about it, when the weekend comes and you say, I'm going to go into the office and work on the weekend, you get so much more done. Mm-hmm. Well, that's because you're focused and you're not disrupted.
Yeah, and so you're the CEO of a company here, and so you have effectively implemented, many of the techniques, that she has talked about.
Yep.
I mean, tell me what it's done for you personally within your life, then.
Yeah, I'm not an entrepreneur that works 80 hours a week. We work from 9 to 5, and
I could definitely say you look more relaxed than the typical entrepreneur that I get in here. So, I mean, I can see, just personally, I mean, you came in here relaxed, personable. You didn't seem stressed out and looking at the phone. And
talking about Atari.
Yeah, we're talking about Atari.
Yeah. He was not worried about business at all.
Yeah. So I can definitely see the result of implementing her type of solutions.
It's really important, and then I take what she's talking about, and we look at it. So how do we make that flow happen in business? How do you change your business practices so that it flows, that you're creating flow within your organization?
Okay. So within your business, which again focuses on systems implementation, systems development, I mean, what is your area that you find yourself dealing in most? Do you get involved in the day-to-day, operations of the client, or do you work more behind the scenes now with just HR functions?
No, I like working directly with the CEO of an organization, especially one that's interested in using technology to increase their profitability.
You still like to get in there and do the programming? And
I
the
love
scripts?
it, but I had to delegate that. I had to get out of that space so that I could grow the company.
I find that stuff just really interesting and fascinating, but I don't really understand it. I've played with it just like a number of different tools out there because I get interested in it for a little while, but it's so complicated.
Yeah, it's a better hobby than a business, right?
It's really cool to be able to make a computer do what you want it to do.
Yeah, I can remember going back to the days in the 80s, with Atari's my first computer. I think it was the Commodore 64.
Commodore 64, sure.
And I used to get this, book or this magazine that had these programs in there, and I used to spend hours typing it into the C prompt, and it would never work. It would never do what it was supposed to do.
And you'd then call me, and I would debug the program over the phone.
Yeah, so I spent hours.
That's what would happen.
It had these things. It was like to make a drag and appear on your computer. This is the early days of a computer.
Compute. That was the magazine.
Yeah.
Compute.
Was that what that was?
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I actually literally, we'd sell these computers to people, sell Compute magazine, and then they'd call me and say, my computer's broken. And it's because the program didn't work.
The only program I can remember of being any value when I was in grade school was Logo.
That's a really cool programming language.
That was the only thing that I can remember being useful until they started developing the word processors and ultimately the internet, which in my life didn't really take off until I was in probably first year in college. I went through high school without the use of computers and internet too much. It wasn't until '96 that stuff really started to take off.
But 94 and then 94 is when it became public, and it really exploded a couple years after that.
I remember using Logo in my math classes.
Yeah?
We draw a few of the different designs, and that was a neat little program that I can remember.
Yeah. It's cool. That was a cool app.
So Charles, who is an ideal client then for you to work with? Is there any?
Yeah, one that's on time.
When it's on time. Yeah. No, our ideal client is a client that's growing. They're in they've got systems and rekeying, lots of spreadsheets, rekeying data. When we look back at our client base currently, the majority of our clients are in light manufacturing distribution. They're typically between $10 million and $20 million a year in revenue. They've got enough people, they've got enough stuff going on that we can come in and save them a ridiculous amount of money.
All right, good information. Let me take a quick middle of the hour break, but I'm currently in studio with Charles Strange, owner and CEO of the Solution Associates. Learn more about him at the-solution.com. And also Patty Lustig, personal and professional life coach and owner of Sage Think. Learn more about her at sagethink.com. And you're listening to the TBBO Tuesdays edition of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank. And that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Are you thinking about selling your home and looking for a realtor that stands out above the rest? Then contact Jamie Maloney with Coldwell Banker and host of That Business Show, airing weekday mornings at 8 a.m. Jamie has sold over 1,400 homes in the Tampa Bay area and is on the Wall Street Journal list top 100 realtors nationwide. Jamie will get your home featured on over 500 websites and will have you live on air to talk one-on-one with him about your home to his audience. Contact him today at 813-760-8516 or email Jamie at tampabayradio.com.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Southbound I-75 just before Fletcher, the right lane remains blocked there due to a crash. Also westbound Bush Boulevard approaching 275, the left lane blocked there. Northbound 275 off the Howard Franklin Bridge, still a bit slow approaching the Kennedy and Airport exit areas. And a couple accidents along southbound 66th Street, one at 102nd Avenue and another one just before Park Boulevard. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abraham Slen Neuter, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
While many rose up with violence, he sat down for peace. Mahatma Gandhi reached out with the strength he cultivated within his soul. So, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Today, a mix of sun and clouds with a slight rain chance, high 83. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 70. Tomorrow, a 20% rain chance, high 82.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to tampabayradio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to the program, everybody, and thanks for listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. It's also the TBBO Tuesdays edition of That Business Show, so be sure to help support the Tampa Bay business owners and visit tbbo.org. Over there, they have an events calendar and a lot of different events going on each and every week, so be sure to help support them, and an organization that I highly recommend for developing your business and networking here in the Tampa Bay region. Currently in studio with Charles Strange, owner and CEO of the Solution Associates. You can learn more about him over at the-solution.com, and also Patty Lustig, professional life and business coach. Learn more about her, sagethink.com. Patty, tell me the 3 ways for living a compelling life.
Well, first let's talk about what is it for something to be compelling. If I asked you your favorite thing to do, for instance, most people love to travel. It's probably not hard for you to take the actions to book a trip, assuming you have the money, right? Book a trip. It's not, you don't find yourself procrastinating on booking that trip, right? So anything you really love to do is naturally compelling. You want to do it. You want to get to into action on it. But a lot of things in our lives are not necessarily compelling. And one of our goals is to teach you how to have everything in your life, everything that's on your calendar, be compelling. In other words, you're looking forward to it. You really want to do it. Well, how do we do that is we need to connect everything we have to do to something that's of great value to us. So let's say you hate doing your taxes. We have an exercise where you can drill up to, well, what is of great value to you that gets accomplished when you actually do your taxes. And whenever you can connect that deep value to what you're doing, it will become more compelling. You'll get it scheduled. Sometimes you'll delegate it because you see that you don't want to do it. Like I don't clean my house. I love having a clean house, but I don't want to use my time to do it, so I delegate it. So what we want to do is find that connection to everything that we have to do. And then we come back to, what do you want to accomplish? So if you're working on things in life that are really important to you that you want to accomplish, you'll be compelled.
So how do you know if coaching then is right for yourself then?
How do you know if coaching's right for yourself? You have a strong desire to go beyond where you can go on your own. So if you take an athlete who wants to win the gold medal, they're not going to win it on their own. They know how to swim or they know how to do those activities better than anyone, but they have to have a coach who sees something beyond what they see, tells them to do things they wouldn't necessarily do to get them to the goal.
So this is sort of like, being having a personal trainer in a gym. You're never going to work as hard as you will with a personal trainer at your side. And I can definitely attest to that. I've had trainers in the past. And if I go in there by myself, I, don't do nowhere near the work that a personal trainer puts me through.
Right. And we can only see so much from our own mind. We see more from being in relationship and communication with others. And that's what a coach can see, things that you can't see.
And there's a lot of life coaches, business coaches out there. I mean, how do you differentiate yourself from other coaches?
Well, I focus on productivity. There's a lot of personal coaches that just kind of focus on process. I focus on productivity. You tell me what you want to get done, and we're going to figure out how you can get it done.
Okay. All right. And Charles, let me throw back over to you. You're both members of the TBBO, Tampa Bay Business Owners.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been associated with Tampa Bay Business Owners?
So I joined Tampa Bay Business Owners going to be 2 years in March.
Okay.
And I'm a big fanboy. It's an amazing organization, probably the best business owner organization that I've participated in. Being part of it is I've met some amazing people. I think that's probably one of the coolest things is the people that are in that organization are just really, really exciting people and interesting people to be around. And the education, the networking, the entertainment aspects of it are just absolutely phenomenal. I can't speak more highly of an organization.
And how has it helped you in your business and your
Changed
development?
my business completely. For 28 years, 2 years ago, July, I finally figured out what we do. And that's a direct, So, and that's a direct result. I mean, that's an absolute tangible result of being part of TBBO.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to see that what our value add is our consulting. Our value add is being able to look at that business and see where the flow is failing. And then I was giving that away. I was giving that absolutely away to sell programming, and we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
We actually sell the consulting now.
Patty, how has TBBO impacted your business?
Well, I would concur with many things that Charles said. I joined TBBO just a little over a year ago. I had moved back to Florida after being away for 35 years, and I felt like immediately I had a community. And I have met the most interesting people. I have made some business alliances. As Charles also said, I've gotten more clarity on the focus and direction that I want to go with my business at this point. And I now have a whole new 10-year plan that's very exciting.
Yeah, and it is like a family over there.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
I got to say that is a direct function of the incredible couple of Katie and Chris.
Katie and Chris, yes, the co-founders, and Chris and Katie's vision several years ago, and look what it's developed into. It's an amazing network of business professionals from around the Tampa Bay region, and even before I got involved with them, people were always talking about the Tampa Bay business owners and ways to grow and network your business. So definitely highly recommended. People can find out more information over at tbbo.org. Well, Charles, Patty, a great discussion here on TBBO Tuesdays.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for being in studio. Charles, great to reminisce about old computers and Atari and things like that. And it's interesting because probably in 20 years we'll be talking about the computers of the day and the internet and being how junky it is today versus the way it's going to be in the future.
Things will be obsolete that we think are amazing now.
Yeah,
right.
It's technology has grown so much, and it's just
super fast.
And it's just
super fast.
Our kids and grandkids are going to look at us and think like, how'd they use that crap back in the day? So, Charles and Patty, thank you both so much for being in studio. Again, Charles Strange, owner and CEO of The Solution Associates. You can learn more about him over at the-solution.com. And Patty Lustig, professional and business life coach and owner of SageThink. Learn more about her at sagethink.com. In the meantime, also please check out my website, tampabayradio.com. Again, over there, all shows are available on demand, and if I can help you in any ways buying or selling real estate, please reach out to me, a contact form over on the website, or email me, jamie@tampabayradio.com. And also thank you to the Tampa Bay business owners. Learn more about them, tbbo.org. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.